Mawu. Mawu is the U equivalent to the English name God and the biblical Hebrew designation of Elohim. In the U language, Mawu means I will surpass. According to A. B. Ellis, 1890, the word is derived from a root wu, signifying to stretch over, to overshadow. According to the experienced German missionary, Jakob Spieth, 1906, to whom we owe the most thorough investigation of the religion of the U-speaking peoples, the natives agree in explaining the root wu to signify more, or surpassing, so that Mawu should mean the surpassing, he who is and has more than men. In fact, the natives always end their explanations of the name by saying, Ewu Nusianu, he surpasses everything that exists. A distinction is often made between the supreme god and the lesser gods by adding the suffix ga to the appellation Mawu. Mawuga means the great god. The name of Mawu is known throughout the U lands in eastern Ghana, in Togo, in Benin, and in southwestern Nigeria, wherever the U language is spoken, from the coast far into the interior, and is of importance in the daily life of the people. The idea of a supreme god is not of foreign origin, neither reflection of missionary teaching. It is an ancient possession of the people. The conception seems to have been molded directly on the site of the celestial vault. The light which floods the sky is conceived as the oil with which the Mawuga anoints his gigantic body. The blue color of the sky is the veil behind which he hides his face, and the varied formations of the clouds are the robes and the ornaments which he puts on from time to time. When the morning clouds are seen encircled with a rim of light and the blue sky peeps between the rifts, the natives say, Mawu has donned his coat of many colors. The name for the visible sky is Jingbe. The traditional worship. The supreme god Mawuga is only worshipped by persons with whom he is believed to dwell, and who have prepared for him a seat and a special place of worship. Sometimes the seat is of a very humble sort and a vessel of purification set upon a three-pronged pole. In this vessel are placed certain plants, especially one called ma, which resembles spinach and is much used in the worship. The vessel is also kept full of water the whole year. Other people, however, make an enclosure for Mawuga, fencing it with palm branches and planting in it various herbs and a certain sort of tree, which they call God's tree, Mawuti. Its lofty and slender stem, which distinguishes it from the other trees, appears to mark it out as specially suitable for the worship of Mawu. Beside it they also plant another palm-like tree, which they call the lightning tree. Under the shadow of these trees stands the sacred vessel, which differs from the sacred vessels of the earth gods in that it is made of clay which has not been fired. The water which it contains must be drawn by a pure and unmarried girl, and it is mixed with palm wine. The daily, weekly, and monthly observances in honor of Mawu. The observances in honor of the Mawu take place daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly. The daily service consists mainly in washing with water drawn from the vessel of purification. This purification the worshipper undergoes immediately on rising in the morning. He accompanies it with a prayer, and until he has performed it he may not speak with anyone. At the weekly and monthly services the worshipper makes a small offering of eggs, palm wine, and meal. In presenting it he prays, saying, O great God, who shayest my thoughts, here I bring thee 2 partridge eggs. Have a care of my house, of my children and of my wives, and grant that I get cowrie shells, in order that my house may evermore have peace. The weekly service falls on Saturday, quite like the Israelites' observance of Sabbath. When the priest rises from his mat, he washes his face with water from the vessel, dabs white clay on his forehead, temples, breast and arms, and puts on white clothes. Then he betakes himself to the hut dedicated to the worship of Mawu. There, sitting on a stool sprinkled with white clay, he remains till the sun goes down. This he does because on that day Mawu is believed to abide with him till the cool of the evening, when he takes his departure. On leaving the hut the priest hangs a white cloth over the doorway. Some folklore about Mawuga. Why Mawu retired from earth to heaven. The natives say that long ago the great god Mawu dwelt among men on terms of intimacy, but that through their guilt he was forced to withdraw to an infinite distance and to delegate the conduct of affairs to the inferior gods. The offense which gave umbrage to the deity is variously related. According to one account, Mawu who was in the sky was once so near the earth that men could touch him with their hands. Hence when they kindled a fire the smoke blew into his eyes so that they smarted, and that is why he retired so far away. Others say that after their meals people used to wipe their dirty fingers on the sky, and even thrust their porridge pestles into the god's face. That was naturally more than he could put up with, and in dudgeon he withdrew to his present exalted position in the sky. There, according to some, he dwells in a space surrounded by fire, but according to others he resides in a house which stands in a large garden planted with banana trees. Thus Mawu is conceived of as distinct from the physical sky. A priest of the earth explicitly declared, Mawu is not the sky, Jingbei, but he has his dwelling in the sky. This is similar to how the God of the Hebrews left making his abode in the midst of the Israelites' camp due to their sins. How one of Mawu's 2 sons cheated his brother out of his father's blessing. But while Mawu appears to be essentially reside in the physical sky, popular fancy invests him with the form and attributes of a man. He is supposed to be married to the earth, hence he is addressed as husband of the earth, and also as our father. According to one account, he has 2 wives. His first wife, Kosoko, bore him a son named Mawute, who stammered. His second wife, Barka, bore him a son named Adidze, who did not stammer. One morning Adidze went to his divine father to greet him. Touched by this polite attention, his father promised to bestow on him his power, his royal insignia, and his warlike accoutrements. But Mawu's other wife, the mother of the stammerer, happened to overhear this promise, and she said to her son, "Stop stammering and speak rightly. Go to thy father, Mawu, that thou mayest get his royal insignia." Her son Mawute obeyed, and when he came to his father Mawu, and spoke to him without stammering, his father thought that he was his son Adidze, and gave him his royal insignia. But after that Mawute had thus deceived his father, Mawu's other son Adidze came to his father and said, "Father, I have come to thee to get what thou didst promise me yesterday." His father said, "Hast thou not already come and received that which I promised thee?" But Adidze answered, "Nay, I have not been with thee." Then said his father, "Therefore hath thy brother taken away the promise, and I possess nothing else." But his son Adidze earnestly entreated him, and his father, Mawu, bestowed on him power also. J. Spieth, Die Religion der Ewe in Süd Togo, pp. 25 square. Spieth remarks that this story is told by the natives in the neighborhood of Mount Agu. It presents an eerie resemblance to the biblical story of how Jacob, at the instigation of his mother, intercepted the paternal blessing which was designed for his elder brother Esau, Genesis XXVII.